Hey, what's up guys, welcome to a new video. I know the whole premise of this video seems dramatic, like don't move to Canada. I never thought I'd be, somebody that would make a video like this, but I feel like it's a very important topic to talk about because like I've gotten a lot of people asking me questions about moving to Canada and what I think about it. So I think it's a pretty important topic to talk about. Now, before we get into this, I just want to let you guys know that this is not me advising you. Whatever it is that you want to do, go ahead and do it. And like I said, the title seems really dramatic, but I just want to tell you guys that I absolutely love it here. And if I was to do it all over again, I would still come to Canada. So just wanted to get that out of the way so you guys know that. And, like the idea or the premise of this video is to educate you on what you should expect. Now, regardless of what I tell you, I don't think it will prepare you for whatever you face when you come to Canada because it's different for everybody, different circumstances. I can't, say everything I went through is what you would go through, but just put it at the back of your mind. And this is just meant to be like a guide to help you understand what it feels like. And, also a guide to, just prep your mind for, life in a different country, Now, just so you guys understand where I'm coming from, I'm from Nigeria and I moved here over a year and a half ago, just a bit over a year and a half ago. And it's been an experience. Trust me, it's been an experience, and I wouldn't say it's been the best experience and I wouldn't say it's been the worst experience, but it's been an experience. And I just want to tell you guys about a few things. Like I said, you should put that back in your mind if you are looking to move to Canada. So let's start with the first thing. First thing is that you are starting all over again in a country that is very different from where you're from. Now, if you're coming from the States or you're coming from a country that is, a little bit similar to Canada, then, that change might not be that huge for you. But when you are coming from, like I said, I was moving from Nigeria to Canada, regardless of how much videos you've watched and how many people you've spoken to, that change is huge for you, right? If you look at it from a business perspective, I'm a creative and this video would, I would say, appeal more to creatives than people that do a 9-to-5. So if you do a 9-to-5, then I don't know, but you can still watch it and still, get some insights from somebody that, has done or has run his business all his life and barely done a 9-to-5, right? As a creative, right, you are starting your business again from scratch. Now, put it at the back of your mind, you've probably spent 5, 6, like me, I spent 10 years building my business back home, right? And now, all you are coming here with is with your skill. So your skill, your talent, your experience, which is great because it puts you at a level above people that are starting from scratch here too, right? But you're not bringing your clientele here, and nobody really cares about like your clientele and a lot of things that you've done in the past, because there are people here that already have established businesses, and a lot of these clients would rather go to those people than you that you're starting from scratch. So you have to figure out a way to build your business up from scratch and do it 2 or 3 times faster than you did previously. So basically, you're looking for how to get to a point where you were that took you 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years to get to, and trying to figure out how to get there in 2 to 3 years. So the hustle, the grind, the emotional turmoil that you go through trying to get your business from nothing, from scratch to somewhere close to where it was when you were back home is something that you have to deal with. And I don't think people put enough emphasis on that and how difficult it is for you to deal with that. Like I said, you just moved to a new country. There's so many things that are very different about that country compared to where you're coming from. There is this whole thing of having to build your business that is at the back of your mind, and also like a lot of ways that the country works that is different. For example, where I'm from back home, we pay rent yearly. Here you pay your rent every month. So yeah, under that pressure of that you never felt before, that pressure of having to remit money monthly, which is very different from where you're coming from. So all these things combined with the fact that you have to build your business back up from scratch can be very, very overwhelming. I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you are mentally, because I I look at myself and I say, to a certain extent, I think, I'm resilient mentally, right? But it just weighs down on you regardless of who you are. So that's one thing you have to put at the back of your mind. Now, apart from building your business back up, you have to build relationships back up from scratch. So you have to go out, network with people, and start building relationships from scratch, because for the most part, you're probably going to move here alone or move here with your immediate family. So you might not have a lot of friends. And right here, because everybody's hustling, you probably might not see the people that you knew from back home, or the country is huge. So people might be in different provinces. So you have to learn to go out, network with people, and meet new people and make new friends. That is something that I never knew how to do back home. And here I'm starting to learn how to do that, because your network is your net worth. Yes, that's it. So here you have to put that back in your mind, that you have to go out, create new relationships from scratch and build yourself up back from scratch. So you have to build your business from scratch, and you have to build your relationships from scratch. And if you are somebody that you do not want to go through that stress, then trust me, Canada is not for you, because it will break you down. But if you're prepared to go through that, then I'm pretty sure you do really good here. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is cost of living. So you guys know the economy around the world has been, and the cost of living has gone up. So you're moving to a new country, the exchange rate is probably not favorable for you. Like, for me, I think Canadian dollar is about 800 and something naira. I'm moving to a new country, right? When you've changed all the money you've made back home and you get here, that thing is like pennies. It's like cents, trust me. And you have to come here and deal with the cost of living. The cost of rent is ridiculous. We live in Etobicoke, and our rent is about $3,100 a month. Now, you don't have to pay that much, to be very honest. You can get yourself a small room outside town, but that means for your work and a lot of work that you have to do, especially when it comes to networking and all that, you have to, come to town. You have to learn how to use the bus system, or you have to get yourself a vehicle. Gas is expensive. The cost of buying food right now is really expensive. You have to learn not to eat out. I used to eat out every time back home in Nigeria, but here I learned how to cook. So these are things that you have to put at the back of your mind. Cost of living is crazy, and for the first few years that you're here, is going to definitely weigh heavy on you. I've had conversations with people that have been here for a few months, and the one thing that's at the back of their mind is they just want to go back home. And I keep telling them that, hey, it's just what you have to go through when you make a move to a new country after being established back home. You just cannot escape this, except you come here with millions. But for the most part, the cost of living is ridiculous. So if you're somebody that you're not ready to reduce your expectations and spend as little money as possible, and at the end of the day still be left with no money, at least for the first 1 or 2 years that you're here, then do not make that jump. Trust me, do not do it. This one is for creatives and people that own their own businesses. For the most part, you have to get a 9 to 5 because, like I said, your business is not, your business starting from scratch. There's nothing here. Nobody cares what you've done back where you're coming from. So for the most part, you have to get a 9 to 5. And for the most part, people here that have businesses also have a 9 to 5 because just having one source of income does not really pay the bills here. So, having multiple streams of income is something that a lot of people here do. So a lot of people have their 9 to 5s and have their businesses. That way money is coming from different, avenues. So you, for the most part, have to get a 9 to 5. You can't just come here and start running your own business. I've had people that have moved here and they've done their own businesses and they still are thinking about getting a 9 to 5 to supplement the income that is coming in. So that's something you have to do. I had a 9 to 5 once in my life, and I probably did that for a few months, and I've never had to, do a 9 to 5 again. But look at me here. I'm searching for a 9 to 5. Now, the major reason I'm searching for a 9 to 5 is not particularly because I need one right now. For me, I came here through my studies, and the only way to actually move to permanent residency is by having a 9 to 5 for at least a year. So I definitely have to have a 9 to 5 to be able to move from my work permit to PR. So put that at the back of your mind. Even if you do not want a 9 to 5, you have to get a 9 to 5. And for the most part, I'm pretty sure you will need to get a 9 to 5 to be able to make ends meet till you can build your business to where you want it to be. Now, another thing is getting 9 to 5 is going to be a little bit difficult, especially if you come from a place where you own your own business and you don't have experience working 9 to 5s. Here, they put a lot of emphasis on experience, especially Canadian experience. So getting a 9 to 5 is another tall task on its own. I don't know. A lot of people are struggling. I haven't gotten one. Sometimes I wonder if I'm really that bad at taking photos, because I'm like, I dare a million people, maybe they are, but I dare like a million people here in this city that are better than me, Why can't I get a 9 to 5? But put that back in your mind, you have to get a 9 to 5, and even getting a 9 to 5 can be very, very difficult. So the last thing I want to talk about, for this video, is nothing prepares you for the cold. So if you make that decision to come here, come in the summer or come in the fall, where you can gradually transition into the winter, because the winters are terrible. Trust me. It's one of the worst experiences you have. If you embrace it, then you enjoy it. I've embraced the winter. Like, I've embraced the cold. It's like, it's cold outside. Okay, great. If I don't have to go outside, then I won't, so you just have to plan yourself accordingly. But the cold is something that nobody prepares you for, especially if you're black like me, you come from Africa or Nigeria, where things are like hot almost throughout the year, and now you have to deal with like -20, -25, -30, -35 degrees, -35 degrees. Why is anywhere on earth that cold? But that's something that you have to deal with, and that's something that you should put it back in your mind. But anyways, I hope I've been able to convince you not to move to Canada. That's a joke. Now, if you can go through all of these things, it's probably going to take you a year, 2 years to get to a point where you're comfortable, you're earning, you've built your business back up to a certain level. If you can go through all of these things, or if you are prepared enough, like I said, nothing prepares you enough to go through all of these things together, and people's experiences are different. But if you can go through all of these things and come out of it, then you'll be at a place that you're probably going to be way better off than where you were back home. That's just what I think, But if you cannot go through all of these things and you can't put the next 2 to 3 years to build back up from scratch, then this is probably not the best decision for you. It's going to take you a while. It's just like moving to any other place, living wherever you've built your life in and moving to somewhere else. It really does not matter what country you move to. It's going to be a difficult transition. And I feel like people are either on the it's great or it's not great. And nobody talks about these are the struggles that you probably go through. And if you can go through them and come out of them, then you'll be at a really, really good place. Now, some people, it might take shorter. It might take a few months for you to get to a place where you're comfortable. I had a friend that got here, and in less than 2 months, he got a job and he's very, very comfortable right now. I know people that have been here for 3 years, or they were here for about 3 years before they got to a point where they were really comfortable. I was speaking to a friend of mine last year that was on the brink, she was on the edge of living. She just really wanted to buy a ticket and live. She got a very, very good job. And right now, if you ask her, do you want to leave? She's like, never. So if you can go through that period of hardship, that struggle, that thing that you went through to build yourself to where you were, if you can go through here a few years, then you get to a point where you are really good. So I'm going to do another video separately talking about all the opportunities that you can get from moving to Canada. But this one, I just wanted to talk about why I think some people shouldn't move, because regardless of how you see it, it's not the best decision for everybody. It's not everybody that's going to move, if everybody moves, then there'll be nobody in your country and everybody's going to be here. So it's definitely not the best decision for everybody. And if you are looking to, I hope this video has been somewhat informative for you, and I'll do another video to talk about all the opportunities, like I said, that you can have. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope I haven't discouraged you, but in some ways, just prepared you for what you go through if you move to Canada, because it's a beautiful country, and you can't put a price on peace of mind. Anyways, take care of yourself and have an amazing day, guys. Peace out.